Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be doing a video about AMC. Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investor journey together. Today, I'm going to be talking about why I think AMC stock is on the verge of a breakout. And if it does break out, do I think that it's going to be enough basically for the stock to go through a short squeeze? If it does go through a short squeeze, what's my overall price prediction? So we definitely see, looking at AMC Entertainment, currently sitting around $10, up 2.10% today. Stock market doing pretty good. Started off pretty hot today, up 7.62%. And here's the thing, if you look at the technical analysis chart for AMC, we can definitely see that AMC is probably on the verge of a breakout, right? So it's trading above the 50 and 200-day moving average, which is a very good sign. I'm not really too much into technical analysis. I am a firm believer of it, but I don't really follow technical analysis that much. I do feel like there are specific circumstances where technical analysis doesn't mean anything. So if a company gets bad news or good news, that kind of stuff goes out the window. But nonetheless, AMC kind of been trading sideways. Looking at 1 month, it's down 24%. But looking at the 1 week chart, you definitely could see, the sideways pattern. It's not really going anywhere. Kind of been just trading, and there's not really much selling going on, and there's not really much the stock actually sinking. And I do think that's because there's a lot of people out there who are diamond handing AMC stock. People do think that it's going to go through a short squeeze. For me, I also do believe that AMC is going to go through a short squeeze. And the reason I believe this is because, not only is AMC one of the most heavily shorted stocks, but if we have taken a look at the recent news, there's still people out there who are shorting AMC stock more and more every single day. If we've taken a look at the analysis overall, there's a lot of people grew their short positions in AMC stock in the month of March as well, and probably in the month of April as well. And the reason that is, a lot of people they're not really too bullish on the overall AMC kind of sentiment. People aren't really bullish on AMC as a company. They think that the company is going to go bankrupt. They think the company's not going to make it. But for me, I'm always a firm believer. I do think that AMC stock is going to be fine. I do think that AMC as a company is going to do pretty well. AMC as a company avoiding bankruptcy earlier in the year. Obviously, a company that lost, 80 to 90% of its overall revenue. There were definitely some talks, some scares. I mean, what else do you expect? COVID-19 was kind of wreaking havoc all around, and AMC focusing very heavily on brick and mortar type businesses where you have to be in very close proximity. So they lost $4.59 billion in the year of 2020. But in 2021, people are pretty optimistic about AMC as an overall company. People are optimistic about their outlook and their earnings, and people are also optimistic about the recovery that AMC can actually make. It's also gotten a few analyst upgrades as well. So there's people out there who are bullish on the stock. But let's get into the juicy stuff. Let's talk about why we are here. Is AMC stock going to squeeze? This is the biggest question that people have been asking, basically themselves, every investor, every YouTuber. When is AMC stock going to squeeze? I've said this time and time again that you're not really going to be able to put a time frame on the squeeze. The reason this is because, when it comes to going through a short squeeze, it's very situational and it just happens. With AMC, since it's such a very explosive type stock, you can't really predict when it's actually going to happen. But as the short positions continue to grow, if we do get another Reddit fueled rally, then we definitely will see a huge uptrickle in AMC stock. And I do think that the squeeze in AMC is definitely going to be bigger than GameStop's. Now, if we look at the 1 year chart, we can definitely see this thing trading sideways, but we definitely see this huge gamma squeeze here we got on January 27th, 2021. And we see a slow trickle back down. That's because a lot of the brokerages were limiting trading on stocks with decent amount of short float, and they only allowed people the option to actually sell out of their positions. For me specifically, I don't like how the brokerages did this because, for AMC stock, for GameStop stock as well, these stocks could have continued to grow higher and higher. But since hedge funds were losing a lot of money, some people do tend to kind of point the fingers towards market manipulation, that hedge funds and the brokerages are kind of on the same team and stuff like that. For me, I think it was pretty bogus, but I do think that we are going to get a recap on the AMC squeeze. I do think that AMC stock is not done. And I know what people say, it's clickbait, and but the thing is, I'm going based off the facts. The facts are all right here. There's lots of people who are shorting the stock. There's a lot of people who are holding the stock. A lot of, retail traders, a lot of Redditors who are holding the stock. And they're in hopes, kind of the same thing with, Redditors versus the hedge funds. Some people say the hedge funds, they're not going to let it happen again. They're not going to let the same thing happen again that they did with GameStop. But sometimes it's just out of your control. If they were in that much in control altogether, hedge funds would not have let it happen the first time, where there was a lot of hedge funds who were shorting GameStop. They lost a lot of money with AMC stock. Like I said, there's people out there who are diamond handing it. 20, 30, 40, 50K worth of shares or even dollars of amount in the actual stock in itself, because if the stock actually does squeeze, it could definitely pay off big. So if the stock does squeeze, what do I think my overall price prediction is for it? Where do I think the actual stock is going to go? For me, I do think it's going to go well over $500 to $700, and I know that people think that that's pretty steep. They don't think that's high enough, but you know, it's pretty tough to tell what a stock is actually going to go to. But people do know when a stock does go through a short squeeze, you know, they tend to reach very unreasonable prices that really cannot be kind of fathomed almost, or basically realistic, right? So if AMC hit $1,000, you know, people would be like, how did that possibly happen? You know, when people are going through, or when a stock is going through a short squeeze and people are covering their positions in the actual short squeeze themselves, people don't understand that these people are covering millions and millions of shares all at one time, right? It's not like they're covering 500 shares or 1,000 shares. Even that's a decent amount, but these people have to cover millions and millions of shares. As people continue to short AMC stock, it really does put in the prospect that people don't really believe in this company. And if this thing has one trickle up of good news, like a good earnings, something to push the stock up really high, this is going to make the shorts have to cover their positions when they start getting more fearful. So what's the price target I think that AMC has to get to before this actually starts to happen? For me, I think it's around the $17 to $20 mark before the stock actually starts to go through a short squeeze, because here's what starts to happen. As AMC stock will continue to climb up, there's a lot of retail traders who will continue to buy on the way up. A lot of bots will continue to buy on the way up as well. You know, people who are kind of flipping for pennies. And this will continue to drive the stock price up. And people will continue all over again. And then when the stock hits a higher price, hedge funds start to panic. People who are shorting the stock start to panic. So they start covering their positions. You know, like I said, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of shares at a single time, which just pushes the stock price upward. But I do think that AMC is going to get its chance because, you know, as the world kind of starts to reopen back up, people are getting optimistic about a full reopening. Vaccines are now rolling out. People are optimistic that AMC is going to make a comeback, not only from a kind of like short squeeze perspective, but the overall stock in itself. Like, earnings are definitely going to be a lot better than they were in the year of 2020. People can now start going to the movie theaters once again. 99% of all movie theaters are now open. And they have a lot of big box office releases that are coming out. I know Godzilla vs. Kong did very, very well. So if AMC continues on this trajectory, you know, better earnings, you know, better optimism is definitely going to be able to push the stock price up. And this could in turn make the stock price go up so high where people actually start to fear for their overall positions. But with that being said, guys, that's all I really have to say about the video. Let me know down in the comment section below, guys, what you think of AMC stock. Do you guys think AMC stock is going to go through a short squeeze? If you guys own AMC stock, how many shares do you guys own and what's your average? I'm always very curious to know. With that being said, guys, thank you. Have a great day.